Minasama, konnichiwa. That assumes my Japanese. Dear Minister, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the honor and opportunity to explain a little bit what we are doing in Germany in terms of Industry 4.0 and why we think that real progress can only be achieved if we all join forces globally. Industry is a major driver for the global economy due to its importance for integrated value chains and employment. In Germany, it generates 23% of GDP, which is quite remarkable. The world economy will change fundamentally over the coming years and decades. It has to cope with various challenges. Amongst them are demographic change, decarbonization, political insecurities, now and then, and our topic, digitization. Digitization is a cross-cutting challenge, and it will transform industry as we know it today. We need to make the best of the challenges. So we see a number of benefits we can reap from digitization. I would touch on three strands: the economic, the environmental, and the social area. In the economic area, I would say, in short, reform to perform. We expect, due to digitization, individual products at the costs of mass production, increased productivity and flexibility. This translates into minimize the time to market. Value-generating processes are optimized to customer demand in real time. In the environmental area, I would say environmentally friendly is the new paradigm. Digitization can help energy and resource efficiency to scale up to 50%, which is remarkable. Due to the circular economy, we have increased sustainability. Clean production comes back to the city centers, so it is compatible with urban life. And in the social pillar, I would say that social cohesion is core. We will see smart assistance systems to support employees. Work-life balance and the appeal of work will change dramatically and translate into better work. This is, as you can easily see, a German house. At least I would like you to see it as a German house. It shows the structure we have given our efforts to translate all the challenges into something we can cope with. We've created the platform Industry 4.0. The platform builds on social partnership and is strong due to the involvement of all relevant groups. More than 300 people from more than 100 organizations work together in the platform, including German subsidiaries of foreign companies such as Hitachi, Mitsubishi, Fujitsu, Huawei, or IBM. To work, we've given our German house a three-pillar approach. On your left-hand side, we have pillar one, the experts for experts. They work in working groups on Industry 4.0 and develop concepts for topics such as standardization, R&D, IT security, regulation, work, and education. The second pillar is the political guidance, I would tag it. Officials from ministries and first-liners of business associations gather to steer the process and to find common ground as far as political strategies are concerned. And the third pillar, on your right, is the link to the business society and the outer world. Above all of them, our two ministers responsible for research and economy, respectively, they joined forces to set up this structure. What are we doing? Just some highlights from the platform Industry 4.0. We have an online library which contains the recommendations of the platform to the lawmakers, companies, associations, the society, in brief, the work of the platform. On substance, the platform is working on RAMI 4.0 and the administration shell. RAMI 4.0 is a three-dimensional map showing how to approach the issue of standardization of Industry 4.0 in a structured manner. The administration shell allows an Industry 4.0 compliant end-to-end communication between various components, and above all, the philosophy that we commit ourselves to open and interoperable standards and contribute to making Industry 4.0 workable. We've set up an Industry 4.0 online map. More than 300 best practices show companies and employees how to cope with the requirements of digitization. With this database, we provide practical knowledge how to successfully implement Industry 4.0 and reap the benefits from digitization. And last but not least, we have our spin-offs, the Standardization Council and the Labs Network Industry. The Standardization Council aims to initiate standards for digital production in Germany to coordinate these nationally and promote them internationally. It is also supposed to involve the SME interests in its activities. And from a practical point of view, the Labs Network Industry is a little bit more important for SMEs because it provides a network of test beds where Industry 4.0 solutions can be tested before going into its own production lines. SMEs in Germany are diverse and numerous, and so is the supporting scheme we have in Germany, and this slide just highlights a few of them. We have chambers of industry, of commerce, we have federal ministries, we have the federal states, and various other entities that provide information, support, programs, and help. So we've decided, after watching this process for a certain time, to establish an SME transfer network with these various initiatives to join forces and to bring across the best possible solutions for SMEs. The aim of the network is to increase cooperation and information to achieve better framework conditions, in particular for our SMEs. Working at home, to support industry in this transformation process is one task we have from the federal government level. The second is looking for international allies and partners to work jointly on common solutions. To this end, we now have several MOUs in place, mostly negotiated in 2016. They are covering more or less the globe. This should express our wish and our conviction that we need to find as fast as possible global solutions for Industry 4.0 times running fast. What are we doing in terms of international cooperation? It has various dimensions. First, learn from each other. Until today, no country can claim to have found a one-size-fits-all solution for coping with the challenges of the digital age. And it is not very likely that there will be such a solution because countries pursue their own strategies based on their own industrial tradition. However, we can learn from best practice examples how to benefit best from Industry 4.0. Japan, for instance, but also France have launched similar online maps with best practice examples on how to successfully implement Industry 4.0. And we have interlinked those online maps with our map. But it is not only necessary to interlink online maps. It is also important to interlink existing initiatives on Industry 4.0. And this third International RRI Symposium is a well-established event for networking. I highly appreciate to be part of it. Furthermore, international cooperation is necessary to facilitate cooperation among companies, research institutes, and Industry 4.0 initiatives, especially research institutes like German Fraunhofer and DFKY are very attractive cooperation partners for companies around the globe. Finally, it is not only necessary to support SMEs in digitizing their business model on the national level. We also need to support them in accessing new markets with their digital solutions. We have a so-called market entry program to support SMEs. And we have visits to foreign countries that we support. Several ones have taken place in Japan. The next one is scheduled for May next year. In a globalized world, the best standards you might have developed at home do not help very much unless they become part of international solutions. We need to strive for international solutions in terms of standardization, industrial cybersecurity, and regulatory framework issues. Our experts are working on common strategies how to achieve a common reference architecture, as it is the case with Japan. We published this common strategy at the CeBIT in March 2017. They are also working on use case scenarios and demonstrators in terms of standardization. It is pretty the same in the case of industrial cybersecurity. They are also working on standardized procedures, for example with France, use scenarios with Japan, and demonstrators with the IIC of the US. Regulatory framework issues are mainly coordinated within the EU, for instance, the data regulation or the EU security package published in September. It is first of all important to avoid 28 different regulatory frameworks within the EU, but that is our homework we have to do at home, but it shows you the challenge. Second, we have to make sure that the European regulatory framework is compatible with frameworks from other regions and countries, and this is why the German government is heavily involved in finding a common solution that is workable on the international level. So we have to scale up another level for our international cooperation. Digitization is a key requirement for strong, sustainable, balanced, and inclusive global growth. Germany has for the first time brought together the digital ministers to a conference at the G20 level. The G20 ministers discussed and agreed upon 3 points I just want to stress. They want to share best practices on the digitization of production to facilitate digital transformation on a global level and to benefit all G20 countries. They agreed to encourage centers of excellence, digital hubs for startups, for instance, and clusters to inform and support SMEs, as well as to explore synergies with various partners, including large companies. And the third major point is that they agreed to encourage learning partnerships, for example, between national initiatives and different interested parties and stakeholders. We are very much optimistic that Argentina, who is the next G20 presidency, in fact, the presidency starts tomorrow as of 1st of December, will continue this work because they've already committed to that. And in 2019, Japan will hold the G20 presidency. We are sure that digitization will be again high on the agenda. We are ready and willing to support the important work that needs to be done at all levels. So, to sum up, what once started as a national initiative is now part of the global discussion how to best benefit from digitalization in all sectors of industry to the benefit of all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Heß. ありがとうございました。